Hello, it's Randi Rhodes. Here's a clip from our show, and go to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.
Mary had a little man. The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon.
I have a dream.
Change has come to America.
Believe it.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
Caution, you're about to enter the no-spin zone, the factor. Begins right now. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. I hope you're having a terrific evening. The subject of tonight's Talking Points memo is the scandal everyone's been talking about all week. A scandal no one thought I'd have the guts to address head on about the shocking allegations of abuse of power that have been leveled against the Obama administration. Let's bring in Fox News investigative reporter Laura Dewey with an update. What's that? Laura no longer works at the company? What, did she get the check? Okay, fine. I'm told we do have Fox News analyst Malia Zimmerman, who's normally in studio, but is now reporting live via satellite from exactly 500 yards away. Malia, great to have you. Malia, you spoke to former Obama security advisor Susan Rice, and you told her, I believe she illegally leaked the names of Trump's people to the media, correct?
Yes, and she denied it.
So you asked her point blank, and she said?
No.
Okay, but when she said no, what was her vibe?
Her vibe?
Yeah, like when she said no, did her eyes say yes? Sometimes they'll do that.
No, they just said no.
Okay, but was it a firm no, or was it more like convince me?
Oh, man. Can we do that thing we talked about?
All right, terrific reporting, Malia.
That's amazing. I had to look at him like 10, 15 times and go, that is Alec Baldwin. That is Alec Baldwin, whoever your PR people are. I need them. He's everywhere. He's on the cover of Vanity Fair. Alec Baldwin's in the bathroom with me. Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, my God. So the reason why I chose that as the opening is because Bill O'Reilly's tactic here is complete and utter silence. How many advertisers now? Like 60? 260, 3,452, 987,604. Advertisers have quit. And now you have, I was watching this, the Alabama governor over the weekend. You know, the Alabama governor is a man, he's 74 years old, not particularly, Alec Baldwin aging well. Not like that there, just, a tall, skinny, kind of a bird-like man named Bentley. Mr. Bentley, he's a Republican in his second term down there in Alabama. Apparently a court had said that he could not, that impeachment proceedings against him for, like intimidating women, harassing women, coercing women, threatening women, after his wife, his wife recorded him having an affair or talking dirty or saying how he loved to hold this woman and this other woman, her breasts was so fabulous and, oh my God, I just need to hold you. I need to, touch your parts and God bless our hearts and other parts. It's very sick. Anyway, lower court said, no, you can't impeach him for this. The Supreme Court of Alabama said, oh, yeah, you can. And so they started impeachment hearings today. And you see how this works. This is why I'm bringing this up. You see how this works. The second they say impeachment hearings can begin and impeachment hearings do begin, that's when the Republicans go to the Republican governor and say, bye-bye, time to go. And it looks like Bentley, according to the AP, is going to resign. See that there? See how that works? You just have to threaten. But Mr. Bentley, I love this story because Bentley's wife, bitch set me up, is what this is. There was first of all, Mr. Bentley is a Baptist deacon. Oh, yeah. He's a Baptist deacon. And the prosecutor that actually wrote the report that, the court was considering whether or not there was enough in there, enough activity to produce an impeachment hearing in the Alabama House. The prosecutor's name is Mr. Sharman. Yeah, I know. Make your own joke. It's not spelled that way. Mr. Sharman's report concluded it was 131 pages. And it had this narrative that is just, it's the dirtiest book you ever read. It depicted Mr. Bentley, who offered only limited cooperation to the prosecutors, the legislative investigators. They said he was craven, desperate, and bedeviled. He was bedeviled and betwixt. He was. And they said that he was obsessive and paranoid. The report included how paranoid and anxious he was with the recordings that his wife, Diane Bentley, at the time, made between the governor and his main squeeze, a woman named Miss Mason, who was, a legislative affairs person for him. So the wife got suspicious. She started recording her husband because Idiot Boy didn't understand that his cell phone, when he was texting her and talking to her, that it was also operating on his iPad. And the wife had the access to the iPad. She was like able to listen in on all this stuff. Anyway, the governor described embracing Miss Mason, placing his hands on her breasts, longing for her, how after he held her, it was just something he would never, he needed to do it again and again. Anyway, in the report, Mr. Sharman described how Mr. Bentley tried to use a member of his security detail to break up with Miss Mason after he realized his wife was on to him. And so he sent somebody from his security detail to Miss Mason's house to break up with her. And that the governor demanded that, he would break up with her, but he would allow her to keep traveling in official, government vehicles. He would give her that. And it also asserted in this report that Mr. Sharman, he's so squeezable too, that Mr. Bentley's critics had been subjected to coercion, including threats, threatening messages, and that, he was facing criminal prosecution. In one instance, the governor accused of threatening to retaliate against an aide to Miss Bentley if the employee disclosed Mr. Bentley's relationship with Miss Mason. He said to her in the kitchen of the governor's mansion, can you imagine what living in this house was like? The wife's recording you over there. You got your aides in the kitchen. You got your main squeeze on the other end of the iPad and the cell phone, and you're texting like crazy from a toilet somewhere. And he said to the employee, he was threatening the employee, and this is why he's getting impeached, not because, he squeezed a woman, not because of that, but because he threatened people. He said, "You will never work in the state of Alabama again if you tell anybody about this." He said that to a woman named Heather Hanna. She quoted Mr. Bentley to the lawyers and said that his behavior, is out of control. The man is obsessed. The man is paranoid. The man is nasty. The man is, coercive. The man is this. And so his lawyers never denied. This is crazy. His lawyers couldn't deny that he was, having this Baptist deacon's version of an affair. But they said that it didn't rise to the level of impeachment. And they started invoking due process things, and saying, oh, well, he hasn't been given due process. So today, the Alabama House said, let's do some due process. Let's have an impeachment, and then you can go on trial. And it looks as if he's going to resign. Now, it's not so easy with Bill O'Reilly. It's not that easy. But what the hell? You know what I mean? What the hell goes on? That, men are just like, I'm sure... Do women do this to their male employees? I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess there was one movie with Demi Moore in it, or Demi. You remember that? I guess it was called Disclosure, and she was it Michael Douglas? She was sexually harassing Michael Douglas. Well, who wouldn't? No, I don't know. But it's just an amazing thing how this just goes. The more powerful the men are, the more religious they seem to be, the more conservative they are, the wider the stance, the more, offensive they become. So it looks like Governor Bentley will be resigning. This is according to AP. We'll keep an eye on it. Meanwhile, you have, Congress is on vacation. Yeah, the president bombed some stuff, and then they said, okay, we're on vacation. I cannot believe this because Sean Spicer just gave a press conference where he said pretty much, the president of the United States is not done.
I'm going to bomb the shit out of him.
He's not done. See, Let me just show you. This is Trump's foreign policy with regard to Syria, and it always was, okay?
I'm going to bomb the shit out of them.
Okay, and here's his foreign policy on China.
Listen, you motherfuckers, we're going to tax you 25%.
So there you have his foreign policy. And he I don't know, maybe he's addicted to firing off missiles or something like this because, his wife lives 200 miles away and he doesn't have a good relationship. I don't know. And so the missile firing is good for him. I have no idea. But, pretty much I thought because Congress was on vacation. Oh, and by the way, this is a great time to go to your town hall meetings in your congressional district because they're home. So go to Indivisible. And go see where your local town halls are, where your Congress member is going to be appearing, and show up and ask them, are we going to war? What are you going to do? I mean, how in the world? Where were you? Why didn't the president come to you before he fired off all these missiles? And are you going to vote for a full-out war in Syria? Are you going to bomb the crap out of him? Because this was his foreign policy. I mean, where do you stand? Where? Where are you? What's going on in this country? Because now, all of a sudden, you got John McCain and Adam Schiff agreeing, just like, you had on Friday, we had, what's his name? Mike Lee from Utah, the most Republican guy from the reddest of the red states, agreeing with Democrats, too. It's so crazy. It's like everybody, the more Trump pushes, the more everybody gets together and says, yeah. It's kind of like the same thing that's happening to Governor Bentley. Once you get an investigation and it produces some result that's embarrassing, humiliating, or shows that you are beholden to somebody else and that you are intimidating people or coercing people or doing something that is beyond the scope of your office, and they start impeachment, all of a sudden the Republicans, like little cockroaches, turning on the light, they just run for the hills. Woo! They run for the hills. Well, we never liked him anyway. We never liked him. Do you know? And it's the same thing here. Adam Schiff believes, as does John McCain now, this is where the agreement is on Syria, that Russia was complicit. Meaning no one could fathom that the Russians who were in charge of getting rid of chemical weapons in Syria didn't get a little phone call from Bashar al-Assad saying, I'm going to do another chemical attack. It'll be limited, but I'm going to do it. Nobody believes that Russia wasn't clued in. Everybody believes that Russia was complicit. These Sunday shows were kind of, extraordinary. Also, that there is no cohesive policy within the Trump administration about what to do about Bashar al-Assad, or, like Rex Tillerson, let him stay, and Nikki Haley, no, there's no chance for peace with him there. I mean, the whole thing is so freaking confusing because here's the feeling I'm getting. Trump gets his foreign policy from the shows. He hears things, This is why he's been defending Bill O'Reilly. The president defended Bill O'Reilly and said he's a good guy and he doesn't believe that any of this happened. It's like Chester and Lester the molester have to stick together. It's very weird. But that aside, the president watches the shows, and this is where he gets his information, and this is where he gets his foreign policy. This is where he gets his domestic policy. This is where he figures out who his friends are. For instance, Janine Pirro from, the Granny came on Fox News. She had dinner with Trump when he went down to Mar-a-Lago on Thursday. So did Rush Limbaugh. He gets his information from the shows. And what's really creepy is that I think what's going on in the Trump administration is he's doing it like The Apprentice. And this is deadly serious stuff. But I mean, he's watching, two project managers. He's watching Nikki Haley. She's making her case for, we got to get rid of Assad. And he's watching Rex Tillerson, who, by the way, will be in Moscow tomorrow, make his case for, we don't care that much about Assad. We want to work with Russia. And he's going to decide after he watches them on the shows who wins The Apprentice war version. That's scary. That's freaky. Meanwhile, you got Senator McCain and Adam Schiff from the House, Democrat, Republican, Republican, Democrat, both agreeing that Russia was complicit in this attack. And Sean Spicer saying that even barrel bombs, which is Assad's favorite thing, even if he uses barrel bombs, which he already did since we bombed him and that stupid Air Force, which was flying jets a matter of hours after we bombed them. $100 million we spent on Tomahawk missiles. And hours later, he's flying jets and attacking the same damn city. So now Sean Spicer is saying if we use barrel bombs, if he uses barrel bombs, we're going to attack him for that. I don't think we're done. And Congress is on vacation. Go to RandyRhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.